You're welcome. Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.
Mo kí gbogbo wa nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi. Mo kí wa pé kó bójú ọjọ́ ṣeré. Mo kí ẹ̀yin ìyá, mo kí ẹ̀yin bàbá, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n, mo kí àbúrò. Èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín. Ayé ọpẹ́ yọ ṣe yọ lọ́dọ̀ títí náà. Ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, ayé ọpẹ́ máa yọ fún wa. Lórí ọmọ, lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa. Òun la ayé ọpẹ́ ló máa fi máa yọ fún wa. Èwo la mú wá fún wa lọ́jọ́ títí òní. Àjò lè dàbí ilé. Àjò kò lè dàbí kíni, àjò lè dàbí ilé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Bọ̀ níbi tá a dé yìí, àjò máa fẹ́ wá dájú lé lọ lọ́tọ̀ 80% ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè, especially ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ilẹ̀ olómìnira wa. Yorùbá ni mí, Yorùbá ni ràn mí. Bó ṣe hun ẹlòmíì kó dàbí àrà, kó dàbí ọgbọ́n, kó máa yíká ọ̀tún, kó máa yíká òsì. Kò máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá gbọ́ lẹ́nu brọ́dà wa kan, tóun dẹ̀rẹ́ kékeré ni nínú àwọn ogunlọ́gọ̀ ènìyàn tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Ṣé sì inú lè sọ pé fẹ́ lọ ṣe business nílé? Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ, ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi. Ilé ayé ò ṣe gbé, ọ̀run ò ṣe bínú lọ. Ìlú òyìnbó ò ṣe gbé. Ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà wa kò máa ṣe bínú lọ. Kí ni ká ṣe? Àfi ká wá gbà fọ́lọ́run báyìí ni o. Ká gbà fọ́lọ́run. Ká dẹ̀ nígbàgbọ́ wípé sẹ́ẹ̀ ó ṣì máa dá, kí la lè ṣe. Ọlọ́mọ tí ò níyà òun dégbò ẹ̀yìn. Àwọn ọmọ ti dégbò ẹ̀yìn ẹyọ kan yìí náà. Tàbá dégbò ẹ̀yìn báyìí, ó kẹ́ni tó máa wé fún wa. Ẹ wo ẹni tó kówó. Ẹlòmíì àgbà lóònù ń bí báyìí. A sọ pé òun fẹ́ lọ sílé. Láti lè sọ wípé òkè tí n bá lọ ṣe business nílé, àlàáfíà ẹlòmíì wà torí ẹ̀tẹ̀, torí wẹ́dà ní báyìí kò bá lára mu. Ó wò lójú méjèèjì pé àti tí bá ti rí change díẹ̀ sẹ́ẹ̀ kí máa lọ́lé, kí n lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ business kan, kí n lọ bẹ̀rẹ̀ business kékeré kan. Mi ò wá wò rẹpẹtẹ, kò ṣe mo fẹ́ kọ́lé, mo fẹ́ ra mọ́tò, mo níwọ̀nba nǹkan, but still yet. Fídíò tí brọ́dà wa kan náà ṣe tó ní òun ní driver, òun lọ́mọ ọ̀dọ̀, òun lọ́mọ iṣẹ́, òun ní housekeeper, òun ṣáà ní gbogbo ẹ̀ lóṣìṣẹ́, òun nílé tòun, òun ní ọ́fíìsì, òun ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Canada lòun kó ọmọ lọ. Ó nítorí ọmọ wípé kóun ṣàkọmọ jáde, ìgbà tó débẹ̀ tán bá ó rí wípé oh my God. Kò ń ṣe ìlú Èkó lọ ní ọmọ owó Èkó ló ń gbé, ìlú òyìnbó owó ìlú òyìnbó náà ló ń gbé. Bọ́ àwọn kan ti rábàáyọ ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ program wa ní tó dálé lórí nìyẹn. Àwọn kan ti wá rí àbáyọ ní Áfíríkà yìí. Bọ̀ mo wá ń bèrè lọ́wọ́ yẹn ìyá mi, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi nínú comment section. Màá gbé àwọn fídíò yẹn náà wá. Ẹ máa farabalẹ̀, ẹ máa wò, ẹ máa bá mi ká lọ. Ẹ máa fi comment tí yín náà sílẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi gangan ni wípé question yẹn mo ti rántí nísìn wípé àwọn youths ṣá ní youth kankan àti nílẹ̀ Yorùbá o àti nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà o. Ta ló kù ta lè gbójúlé, ta lè fọkàn tẹ̀, because tó bá kó èèyàn sílẹ̀ nsìn nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni o, nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ni o, kò yé yín sí, including ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mo ń sọ. Because ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ń ràn nínú àwọn Áfíríkà yẹn kò lè ṣe kó má ràn. Òyìnbó náà ń ṣe kí ni òyìnbó ń ṣe ìlara bọ̀ àwọn ò sí Ọlọ́run bọ̀ wọ́n ní fear of woman being, ìjọmọ ènìyàn àwọn nílára. Now ìgbà táwọn yé àwọn youth ti wá rí báyìí táyé àwọn bàbá ti wá rí báyìí bọ́ àti ráwọn youth kan tó ń dìde láfíríkà within a year or year plus nsìn maybe 2 years nsìn wọ́n ti ń ṣe gudugudu méje yàyà mẹ́fà. mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tiwa náà máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ̀ ìgbà wo ni èmi ò mọ̀, àsìkò wo ni mi ò mọ̀, torí pé ó ń kan mí lóminú, ominú yẹn ń kan mí, eyín ò ṣe ẹnu lásán ò ṣe nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí. wọ́n dẹ̀ ti pín wa sí ọ̀nà tó pọ̀. ojú agbé wa kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. àwọn kan máa ń sọ bóyá ọmọ reason tó jẹ́ bí ìgbà tó ń ṣépè fúnra ẹni. mi ò jẹ́ báwọn sí níbi ọ̀tẹ̀, èmi ò jẹ́ báwọn sí níbi àbòsí, ọwọ́ mi máa rè òfunfun nẹ́nẹ́ tí mi ò bá kọ́ dáadáa bá mi tún pọ̀. à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ká kú síbẹ̀. kọ́lọ́n bá ṣe ìyanu lóòótọ́ lótìtọ́ àti òdodo ló máa ń sọ pé owó la fi máa ń ṣe ilé ayé. yes owó la fi ń ṣe ilé ayé o, eyín ò ṣe bí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé ìgbà tí tí wà ń tòde ìrìn àjò yẹn fà padà sẹ́yìn, eyín ò ṣe nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí. bọ̀ àwa mélòó ló kù nínú àjò yìí, àwa mélòó la kù nínú ìrìn àjò yìí. màá lọ gbé fídíò yẹn wá, ẹ̀yin náà fi comment tí ń sílẹ̀ ní comment section. àwọn youth ló ń dá bí àrà tó ń rọ̀ bí òjò yìí, àwọn youth ló ń ṣe eléyìí. màá wá lọ gbé ti president táwa sọ wípé àwa a máa ń sin Ọlọ́run every Friday every Saturday gbogbo ẹ̀ la máa ṣe. ọmọ pé fídíò méjì ni mo promise nísìn tó bá wò délé o miss a lot. nílùú ibi tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn ò lọ sí church ò lọ sí mọ́ṣáláṣí, wá wo president wọn, ìyá mi bàbá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ẹ wá wo president wọn. ara ẹ̀ á bù máṣọ, omijé àfẹ́lẹ́ máa jábọ́ lójú ẹ̀. iṣẹ́ àwa dúdú ṣáà lè ríru eléyìí nílé ayé ta wáyé tàbí ayé mi. kẹwo bí aráàlú bó ṣe ń question president ẹ wo bí aráàlú bó ṣe ń question president. kẹwàá wo bí aráàlú bó ṣe ń question president. kẹtù wá lọ wo iṣẹ́ ribiribi tí àwọn youth tó ń ṣe. kò sí ṣùgbọ́n tàbí ìyá mi bàbá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àtàbúrò mi àyàfi tí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà yẹn tó bá wà bó ṣe wà yìí, nǹkan táwọn youth ti máa gbé wá yìí tó ń ṣe ní Áfíríkà Nàìjíríà ò lè rí ṣe. bọ̀ tó ní kálukú bá lọ a lè rí ṣe bóyá bí 60%. a lè rí, ó lè má fẹ́ tó yẹn torí wípé population you know, but a lè fẹ́ rí ṣe bí 60. ìlú yẹn ti wọlé. wọ́n ti wá promise gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo yẹ máa sọ, wọ́n ti ń promise 2025 nsìn pé ẹ máa rí nǹkan táwọn máa ṣe, àwọn máa sọ Nàìjíríà di small Lagos, small London, small America làwọn máa sọ dà. kí ló fẹ́ ṣe yẹn ẹ sọ sí mi létí. ọgbọ́n kí ló tún dá, wọ́n ṣe ìpolówó láti máa postpone ìyà àwọn tó gbójúlé wọn tó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé wọn, láti máa postpone ìyà wọn síwájú sí torí pé wọ́n fẹ́ wọlé ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì. bàbá mọ right thing. Bílíkísù ìyàwó bàbá ìyẹn Olúrẹ̀mí Tinubu, Bílíkísù lórúkọ súnà, òun náà mọ right thing, but I don't care. àti débẹ̀ náà ìwo ń pápá ìwo ọ̀nà ìwo ń pápá òun ló ń sọ fọmọ Nàìjíríà àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin lọ́balọ́ba. Ó mà ṣe o. Now mo kẹ́yìn ìyá mi àti bàbá mi, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi àti ẹ̀yin ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi, mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé àkókò ọjọ́ ṣe rí. Èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín, ayé ọpẹ́ yọ ṣe ọlọ́dẹ̀ sí náà ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ayé ọpẹ́ máa yọ fún wa lórí ọmọ, lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa. Ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa share ètò yìí, ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa fi comment rẹ̀, ẹ lè má gbàgbé láti bá wa tẹ like náà. Àwọn ìpolówó àwọn bàbá wa náà agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, àṣọ nífi ara wa ṣe ibùgbé ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. A máa gbé ìpolówó náà, a máa gbé wọlé ní àìpẹ́ yìí. Ẹ máa bá mi kálọ. God bless you.
Mali has shocked corrupt African leaders after it announced a clearance payment of $332 million that have made the country the first African country to be free from any foreign and domestic debt. Did you hear that? Well, maybe let's ask, for how long has Assimi Goita been in charge of this country? What magic has he used to free the country off its debt? What do the puppet African leaders think about this move? We are going to dive and discover some shocking details of how this all happened step by step. But first, a big thank you for all our returning viewers. They motivate us to compile more interesting content for you. Always support us more by liking and sharing the video. Then leave us a comment, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you be among the first to watch our videos. Now let's get started. For decades, Mali, like many African nations, has been trapped in a cycle of debt, a legacy stretching back to the era of independence. High debt to GDP ratios have weighed heavily on the country, impacting every aspect of Malian life. Schools, hospitals, infrastructure, all have suffered under the constraints of foreign debt and reliance on international financial institutions. But that all changed when Mali announced a historic $332 million debt payoff. This isn't just an economic milestone, it's a statement. Mali is taking control of its financial destiny. Just a few years ago, Mali, along with its neighbors, Burkina Faso and Niger, was hit with sanctions from ECOWAS. These sanctions led to debt defaults that might have crippled a nation. But instead of succumbing to pressure, Mali made a bold choice. So how did Mali pull off this economic miracle? Mali's success could ignite a new wave of economic independence across Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa currently holds over $700 billion in external debt. That's money that could be invested in local infrastructure, education, and healthcare. But instead, billions leave the continent every year in debt repayments, perpetuating economic dependency. With Mali's historic payoff, we're seeing the potential for a new path, one that challenges old colonial dynamics and prioritizes African sovereignty. But there's more to this story. Mali's debt payoff is part of a larger movement in the Sahel region. Alongside Niger and Burkina Faso, Mali has joined the Sahel Alliance, a coalition determined to redefine their relationships with former colonial powers and foreign financial institutions. This alliance aims to build economic sovereignty, strengthen regional security, and forge new partnerships on their own terms. These nations share a common vision, a Sahel region that controls its own destiny, free from external manipulation. Leaders like Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traoré have championed initiatives to keep their nations financially sovereign. Traoré's government created the National Treasury Bank, established the Post Bank to expand banking access, and even floated Burkina Faso's first national bond, attracting investment from global private investors. This push for economic independence comes with a significant shift in international relations. For years, France has maintained a strong economic and military presence in the Sahel, but today the countries of the Sahel Alliance are saying, enough is enough. They're questioning the legacy of neo-colonial policies that often benefit France more than the African nations themselves. In response, these countries are exploring new partnerships. Russia and China are stepping into the picture, offering alternative investments and alliances. But the big question remains, is this simply trading one form of dependency for another, or a true path to self-reliance? Mali's debt payoff is part of a broader economic strategy that emphasizes resource nationalism and economic diversification. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are rich in resources, from gold to uranium. By taking control of these resources and reinvesting locally, these nations aim to capture more value within their own economies. Alongside resource control, there's a push to modernize agriculture, invest in manufacturing, and develop technology sectors. Economic resilience requires diversity, and these nations are working to build economies that are not overly reliant on any single commodity. While Mali's debt payoff is a groundbreaking step, challenges remain. Can Mali sustain this debt-free status amidst global economic pressures? Moving away from traditional partners like France might risk economic isolation, and without robust governance, there's the risk that economic gains may not reach those who need it most. Critics question whether Mali's bold move will be enough to bring about lasting change. Is this debt payoff just a one-time statement, or the beginning of a sustainable strategy for economic self-reliance? If Mali's success inspires other nations, it could shift the balance of economic power on the continent. Imagine a future where African countries are free to invest in their people and infrastructure, free from the burdens of unsustainable debt. If more African countries follow Mali's lead, we could see a new economic order, with African nations negotiating as equals on the global stage. The journey to economic independence is long and complex, but Mali's debt payoff is a powerful step forward. It's a statement to the world that African nations can and will take control of their destinies. So what do you think? Will Mali's bold move inspire a new wave of economic independence across Africa? Or is the path to debt freedom more challenging than it seems? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analyses on African economic and political developments.
Shame on you, Macron!
You have blood on your hands! You have blood on your hands!
You have blood on your hands! You have blood on your hands! Shame on you!
Hey.
Shame on
Hey,
you!
calm.
He's coming
Be
towards
calm.
me!
Be
He's
calm.
coming towards us!
This is how you deal with people?
Is that you, children?
You are complicit in the genocide. You can stop it. You can say a word.
No.
No what?
No. Could you hear me?
Yeah? Go ahead.
Please, thank you. First, I was
President France sends money on bombs.
Listen. Let's listen.
Please. First, we don't provide weapons, we don't provide financing. This is wrong.
You
Second,
provide
no.
political and diplomatic cover.
But come on. Look at what I told from the very beginning. From October 2023, France asked for a ceasefire in Gaza.
No, you said
we
they
vote.
have the right to defend themselves.
This is very true.
That's the first word that you said.
No, you're right, and
Yeah,
I
I
say
know.
in the limits of international rule.
Yeah, well, we know that they broke those rules.
Yeah, okay. So this
from
is
the
why.
beginning.
But this is why.
You waited how long until
No,
you
this
said
is
that
why-
there was
That's
supposed to be a
we want
ceasefire?
actions.
How
We
long
want
did you wait?
actions.
Come on, we are not
We
the
want
one.
actions.
But I agree with
You
you.
can
I
put
want
pressure
action.
on
This is what
Israel.
we are doing in Lebanon today.
In Lebanon, like when you came when the explosion happened in Lebanon,
Yeah.
you came all the way there and you did nothing.
Come on.
What did you do?
We did the maximum.
No,
but,
please,
but-
save it.
No, but we are not the substitute of the government of Lebanon for what.
Yeah,
what
but you could have put
concerns the-
sanctions as well.
But we
and
are
you're not
putting
going to put sanctions.
But
Yeah,
we did
on
put
who?
sanctions, and we are putting
On who?
sanctions. And let's be clear, we are not the one to provide weapons there. So we call for a ceasefire. We went to the Security Council.
You need
We
to make
put-
actions to make that happen.
But what I want,
You should sanction Israel.
Like tens of hundreds
I
of
totally
thousands of
understand
innocents are
both
being
your
killed.
emotion. I understand you're so angry. I'm
No,
angry as
I
well.
lost my daughter.
But-
I lost my daughter.
So I do respect that, and all my condolences for that.
I still
And
have my
this is-
family there.
But
They can
let's-
be killed any
But
moment.
let's be clear, you have to make a distinction between those who are in full support or providing weapons and those who are doing their best trying to stop
It's
this
not
war.
your best, sir. It's not your best.
Yes, I'm
You
trying-
have more in your hands to be done, and you're not deciding to do that.
No, I'm
if you're
sorry.
in power and you can change nothing, you have to quit.
No, because
If
this
you
is not,
can't
this is not
take
in my
actions,
country. No,
you
but
have to quit.
I respect your emotion and I respect you're so angry, but this is not in my country. When you are a leader elected by your people.
But you're ally with Israel.
No.
Your country is big, one of the biggest allies of Israel.
But
you-
I'm sorry,
you-
we don't provide weapons. For
It's
what's
not about
happening in
weapons.
Gaza.
If
Yes.
you have a role to play, you can put an end to that.
And
right?
this is
By
exactly the role we
sanctioning
are trying to play.
Netanyahu and the war
as well-
criminals.
And
Not
as
by
well, you don't
speaking.
mention it. Not just by speaking, but by trying to bring all together for an actual ceasefire and a mutual recognition.
How long that will take?
And
Tell
mutual
me.
recognition.
It's almost a year.
I agree with you. I'm as impatient as you
Is
are.
it because we're not white, we don't have blue eyes, you don't care?
No, there is no two standards on my
That's it,
side.
because like what happened in Ukraine, we saw the whole world
and look,
supporting.
A lot of people could be as angry as you are, because in Ukraine we didn't stop the war as well. So I recognize.
But we could see what you did for the Ukrainians. Even Canada, that you are standing here.
But I can tell you, you recognize what I do for the Palestinian people.
I know.
Because
but
you
like
speak about
hundreds
the
of thousands
Ukrainians.
of people
For instance,
are being killed as you speak.
When the Americans, under another administration, when Trump was elected, they stopped all the financing for UNRWA. France substituted this financing. We did finance.
But that's not enough.
No,
it's enough.
It's never
that
enough.
doesn't cover for anything. How many people died?
But my point, because you refer to Ukraine, I refer to the point that we were here and we are still here to help Palestinian people. But today we are not the one to be involved in this war. So we do our best.
So who's involved?
It's Israel and the Hamas.
But Israel is not acting in the vacuum. They have like the whole West getting their back.
No.
Literally today they got $8 billion from the United States. You're not going to pressure the United States.
I'm not the
but you're not going to pressure them to not do that.
Power. You have power. I'm not talking about nobody.
You have a say.
My diplomacy.
France, you have power.
We have a diplomacy. We put all the weight of our diplomacy, and I do hope we will get concrete results. But I just want you to understand what we are doing and where we stand.
It's not enough. It's never enough.
I take
it's
your
too
point.
late. Even if you do something, it's too late.
And we started the position for a ceasefire in October. But in parallel, we have to work all together, and this is what we are trying to do, to engage all the countries in the region to stop with terrorist groups, because otherwise we will never stop.
Personally, with
Israel
all
is a
respect,
terrorist
with
group.
all respect.
Hamas is a terrorist group.
No, they're not.
Because
they're resistance
fighters.
fighters.
No, Hamas.
Resistance.
I'm sorry, we totally disagree on that. And what
Well,
you are
of course,
telling,
yeah.
No, but what you say is unacceptable.
And
they
what-
killed
what-
hundreds of people.
So the Irish,
Sir.
what happened? What about the Irish? They're terrorists before, and then what happened after that?
But you are
Israel is
mixing
an occupying
everything.
No, we're not
power.
mixing everything. You just want to
Could you
believe your own
imagine-
lies.
But you are with a lot of emotion. I do respect that.
Sir, under the international
imagine
law.
you will face probably in your life the child, the mother, or the husband of somebody being killed by Hamas. How can you dare to say that?
How
So
do you
I don't
dare say
justify
that?
neither
Sir,
a terrorist
under international
no, this
law.
is a terrorist group.
Away from
Under the
emotions.
UN,
I
they're
want
not
a
a terrorist
ceasefire,
group.
but Hamas.
Under the
Away from
UN, they are
emotions.
not a terrorist
Under
group.
international law,
Under
Israel
you, they
is
are a
an
terrorist group.
occupying
Under the UN,
power.
they are not.
That's international law.
We
Everyone
totally
knows
disagree
that.
on Hamas. I agree on the necessity of ceasefire. I will have to.
Are we going to agree that Israel is a terrorist state as well?
And you
No,
have
no, no,
blood
no,
in your
Netanyahu
hands.
is a
You have
terrorist.
blood in your hands.
No,
You
I
have
mean,
blood in your
please.
hands.
mo kí gbogbo ojú tí wò mí ti ń gbọ́ mi jákèjádò orígun mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin àgbáyé orúkọ mi ni ambassador àkànfẹ́ ìwò tí mo jẹ́ agbẹnusọ fún iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited níléeṣẹ́ wa bí láti màmọ̀ dájú nǹkan kan tí eléyìnbó ń pè ní health is wealth ìlera lọ́rọ̀ kì í ṣàfẹnujẹ́ nìkan tá a bá ń gbọ́ ọ̀nì sétí torí gbogbo lọ́gbọ̀n àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ń kojú àìsàn tí a pè ní ìfúnpá gíga ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal fi ṣètò oògùn ìfúnpá gíga fún ní powder àti ní olómi kò tán síbẹ̀ oògùn ìtọ̀ ṣúgà ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited ní powder àti ní olómi òun náà lẹ̀ ń wò yìí oògùn ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀yìn wà tí a ti ṣe lọ́jọ̀ fún ẹni tó bá ń kojú ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀yìn torí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣòro iléeṣẹ́ wa níbí ní oògùn ẹ̀ tó lè bá wọn tán rẹ̀ lójú ọgbọ́n bákan náà ogunlọ́gọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n jẹ́ oníbìísí tí wọ́n ti rora wọn pín wípé Ọlọ́run ò lè ṣe ṣùgbọ́n tó jẹ́ pé àìsàn kan sómìíràn ní kọjú ọmọ bíbí wọn ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Herbal International Limited fún ìwòsàn fún àwọn oníbìísí kò tó síbẹ̀ o a ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ oògùn tí a ṣe létò fún ẹni tó bá jẹ́ ẹni tó bá ní ikùn gbẹ̀ndù tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀rá ti pọ̀ jù lára ẹ̀ ó máa bá wa burn fat àpè ní X2 burn fat fún obìnrin àti fún ọkùnrin bákan náà.
Come to Canada if you are stable back home. It's not worth it. It's just a fleece. It's a mirage. And that's the truth. Some of us are here because we've decided to come. For example, coming to Canada as a consultant psychiatrist, I had my hospital, I had the money, I had my driver, I had everything working. I had 3 vehicles. I had built a house and I was living in a duplex. But why did I come? Some of us, we looked at it and we said, you know what? For the sake of my children. Canada doesn't program you to work and enjoy your work. The master that is paying you is saying, I'm paying you to get this job done. Salaries in Nigeria is better, you understand? Because I can be making an equivalent of $1,000 in Nigerian naira. The amount that I'm going to spend out of that $1,000 to get my house, rent, everything may just be about 300 or 400. I have opportunity to save like 500 from my salary. But you can't try that here in Canada. You have to cut your coat according to your clothes in Canada. Because your rent, many things are competing. So it's like they give and they take. The system will take it away from you, from parking lots, from the toll gate. There are a lot of systemic discrimination that you won't see it as a form of discrimination because it's already systematized. It's already part of the system. They won't put it in your face. We call it systemic discrimination. It's quite huge, but it's hidden under laws, organizational rules and co. But you will know that it's deeply hidden. But they won't put it and shove it to your face.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi àti ẹ̀yin ẹlẹgbẹ́ mi mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé àkókò ọjọ́ ṣe rí èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín ayé ọpẹ́ yọ ṣe ọlọ́dọ̀ tí náà ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ayé ọpẹ́ máa yọ fún wa lórí ọmọ lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa share ètò yìí ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì rẹ̀ ẹ lè má gbàgbé láti bá wa tẹ láìkì náà àwọn ìpolówó àwọn bàbá wa náà agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run àṣọ nífi ara wa ṣe ibùgbé ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run a máa gbé ìpolówó náà a máa gbé wọlé ní àìpẹ́ yìí ẹ máa bá mi kà lọ. God bless you.
You're welcome. Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.